How do, ladies, gents, and others? It's me, Royston Charmaine, and it's Sleep Token time once again. The new single Caramel has just dropped. I have not listened to it yet. I have managed to load the Genius page whilst only reading the first line, so only spoiled the first couple of seconds for myself. And it's time. Now, last time, Sleep Token dropped a new single, Emergence. I did a reaction like this, and I was quite negative, and I'm annoyed at how negative I was, because now, a few listens later, I really like that song. So I think we're all expecting, with the title of the song being Caramel, that it's going to be a sequel to the song Sugar, which, if you've seen my tier list video, you'll know that I love that song. So I'm really hoping that I'm not as negative this time, but I'm also hoping that I don't intentionally swing too far and be overly positive. I still need to try and be honest in what I think of this song. But please, brain, give it chance. Here we go. You ready? Let's listen to Caramel. Once it loads. There we go. Ooh.
Count me out like sovereigns, payback for the good times. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it already, because that I was trying to think the entire time of what that instrument's called, because I feel like it begins tam, but then my brain just kept going tambourine, and like, no, it's not a tambourine. I'm not going to spend ages trying to think of it, but that's not how I expected it to sound. It definitely reminds me of the synth intro to Sugar, with its kind of the cadence and also the feel of it and the sound of it. But very interesting opening, and the lyrical delivery feels different too. Not lyrical, sorry, vocal delivery. It's very poppy, but very bright poppy, which isn't normally how you expect Vessel to sound. Count me out like sovereigns, payback for the good times, right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. Roses again. Obviously we had roses in the Emergence lyrics, in the second line as well. Was it the second line or the third line? I'm the rose you relinquished again. No, I think that's the third line, isn't it? But yeah, I'm more taken aback by it feels kind of lullaby-ish, which again Sugar does too. Okay, let's keep going.
Not gonna be there, tripping on the grapevine. They can sing the words while I cry into the baseline. Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear
Okay.
it's getting harder, even just to exhale. Backed up into corners, bitter in the lens. I'm sick of trying to hide it every time they take mine.
Okay. 1 minute in out of almost 5, and I don't know. I'm kind of I'm definitely feeling a bit of a juxtaposition, because what I'm reading and what I'm hearing are very different. We're definitely getting that kind of dichotomy of sounds happy but it isn't, which is always something I'm intrigued by and something I really enjoy. But that beat and everything about the musicality, I just feel like there's going to be like a Sean Paul feature in this. I'm just ready for like a mid-2000s rapper to jump on it. Maybe they do. In fact, let's look at Personnel without scrolling down to Spoil. Not credited, so I doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But let's have a read. Count me out like sovereigns, payback for the good times. So we're a currency, payback. Yeah, I get that. Payback for the good times. So we're having to pay for the good times we've had with bad times. So we're in bad times now. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. Kind of again, speaking of a dichotomy of stuck between two seemingly opposing states, but also kind of right foot in the roses, speaks of like, the crushing of happiness, like maybe accidental, where you're treading on the roses, you're crushing love maybe, and then left foot on a landmine. Does that need explaining? I'm gonna be there tripping on the grapevine. No, I'm not gonna be there tripping on the. Sorry, I'm not gonna be there tripping on the grapevine. Grapevine is very Garden of Eden visual. So again, looking backwards. But so we got our right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine, but we're not going to be there tripping over the grapevine. So it's like, yes, I'm in this sad state now. I'm having to take my penance for the good times that I've had, and I'm in this tricky. Sorry if I'm sniffing, by the way. I'm full of cold now. Again, but I know it doesn't sound nice. Apologies. So, but yeah, we're in this bad time, but we're not just going to succumb to it. They can sing the words while I cry into the bass line. So everyone around us is still happy, but we're not. But we're not going to give in to that. Wear me out like Prada, devil in my details. So yeah, devil wears Prada. But what's that alluding to? Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder even just to exhale. That doesn't really need explaining. It's difficult to breathe. Backed up into corners, bitter in the lens. Lens again. Back to lens. You will bite out your lens. But now we're backed into a corner. So is it now the time when we're backed into this corner? Is it now when we bite the lens then, maybe? I'm sick of trying to hide it every time they take mine. Which rhymes with the previous scheme. So the rhyme structure's odd. So we go A, B, B, C, A. So lens doesn't rhyme with anything. Does it rhyme with anything in a midline? Lens, corners, Prada. Oh no. Yeah, I've already forgotten how it went, isn't it? He sang it, bitter in the lens I'm. So it rhymes with mine. Yep. Never mind. I'm not sure what wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail means. If you know what that line means, if you have a clue, where I clearly don't, either comment on my video or go on Genius and annotate it, or both. Right, let's hit play and scroll down.
So stick to me like caramel. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well.
I'm sorry, I just want to dance to this. It's so fresh. It's sad, but it's fresh. So stick to me like caramel. If you remember being a child, or if you have children, that does not need explaining to you. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. So I'm toxic. Everyone around me is happy, and I'm sad. And if you get too close to me, the sadness will infect you too. That's what that immediately says to me. Pretty depressing so far, but at the same time, I kind of want to jump around and boogie to it, so I'm not really sure how to feel, and I'm certain that is by design. Let's go to verse 2.
Is it going good in the garden? Say I'm lost, but I beg no pardon. Up on the dice below on the cards, I try not to talk about how it's harder now. Gotta get a mirror side stage, looking sideways at my own visage, getting worse every time they try to shove a real name just to get a rise from me. Acting like I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. Guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. Guess that's what I get for having 2020 hindsight.
Yeah, man.
Everybody wants eyes on them, I just wanna hear you sing that top line. You don't think I'm me.
Did Sabrina Carpenter write this? This is so modern pop. It's insane. That's so good. I like modern pop, by the way. For anyone wondering, I know I got a lot of shit on that Todd in the Shadows video, but I've been listening to a lot of Chapel Roan, a lot of Billie Eilish, a lot of Spooner Carpet, and a lot of Olivia Rodrigo. I like that kind of pop music. It just works for me. If you do stomps and claps and sing sassy shit, I'm here for it. Dua Lipa is another one I enjoy. And this is kind of giving me that vibe. It's so well written. Like, as in, I haven't really read what the lyrics mean yet. On a first listen, I struggle to do that because I'm just kind of, I'm listening to the flow of it. I'm not really taking in what it's saying, which is why I'm pausing it, and we're now going to read it in a second. But a lot of writing lyrics is, I've never really written lyrics, but I write a lot of poetry that's designed to be spoken, and it's effectively the same thing. It's not so much about your word choices aren't as much about the literal meaning often as they are about putting the right kind of consonant sounds in the right kind of places, because like rapping is very percussive, and even any kind of singing or spoken word is percussive, and you want to hit those b consonants in the right part of your beat if you're doing something like this. And the way that flowed was wonderful, and Vessel's got really good at that. I think there's something that you can say about early Sleep Token, like some of the more R&B flavoured sections. Vessel wasn't so good at that, and sometimes it didn't flow that well over a beat, but certainly on the last album, on Eden, he's really good at that. Right, let's have a read. They asked me, is it going good in the garden? Okay, well, first thing, straight away, the first word, who's they? They are presumably all these people that are around us and who are happy. The garden is Eden, so it's definitely a sequel then. Last of My Hope disappears. I just wanted a new thing from them, but I'll take a fourth entry. But Euclid's so final, but never mind. So they asked me, is it going good in the garden? Say, I'm lost, but I beg no pardon. So that again goes to the not tripping on the grapevine. Then it's like, I'm lost, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sad, but I'm not giving up, I'm not searching for pity. I'm very intrigued by they. I hope we get more about they, about who these people are that we're talking about now. Because we've only ever really talked about, when have we ever talked about anyone other than Vessel and Sleep in this story? There's been, like, there's doctors in Atlantic. There's people who want to harm Sleep, but they're kind of like alluded to. Like your enemies. Yeah, not a whole lot. So, I hope we get more on that. I'm not even halfway and I've waffled for so long. Up on the dice but low on the cards, so I'm lucky in some ways but not others. I tried to talk about how it's harder now. Can I get a mirror side stage? Okay. I try not to talk. I keep missing the negative words. I try not to talk about how it's harder now. So again, trying not to complain. I beg no pardon. Can I get a mirror side stage? Unless a mirror side stage is a thing, and I don't know what that thing is, I assume that means I'm out here performing. I'm pretending to be happy when I'm not, but I can't tell if it's convincing or not. Can I get a mirror side stage? Meaning, like, can I get a look at myself from your view to see how I look while I'm doing this performance? That's what I take that as. Looking sideways at my own visage, getting worse. Every time they try to shout my real name just to get a rise from me. Okay, that can only really allude to real world things, can't it? I don't think that's a line from Vessel. I think that's a line from Redacted. I know the man's name. I will never say it on this channel. Unless, they take the masks off one day, Slipknot style. I don't think that can be a line in the story, can it? Really? Unless this is Vessel now having left Eden, and this Arcadia is just the real world, and all these people around him are just, his neighbours, his family, his former friends, and now that he's had this journey with sleep, returning now to just a normal life feels mundane and he's lost in it. Oh, that's what it's about, isn't it? Acting like I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. I guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. I guess that's what I get for having 20/20 hindsight. So, yeah, people are gossiping. Nah, this is just about fame, isn't it? I'm famous now, and I knew this had happened. Everyone wants eyes on him. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to take my mask off. I just want to hear sing that top line. Just people singing along at a concert. I feel like it was a story song, and then we just fell out of it for the end of that verse, and we're just peeking under the mask a little bit. Interesting. How do I feel about that? It would be interesting to hear from Redacted as opposed to Vessel, but I kind of don't want him to do that. Not for I said not for my sake. Who cares about me? But for his sake, I don't know if I want him to do that. I think, like if you wear a mask in the first place for a reason, and I think if you were ever to remove that mask, I think that should be for your own reasons as well. And this doesn't feel like it is. This feels reactionary to, people who stand in the front row at Sleep Token concerts and shout "redacted" at Redacted. People actually do that. If you see someone do that, kick them in the shins from me. Anyway, let's carry on.
That I understand, but I'm still glad you came. So let me see those. So stick to me like caramel. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. I'm falling free of the final parallel. Sweetest dreams are bitter, but there's no one
Okay.
to tell.
Okay. Yep. This is Redacted speaking. Definitely. I don't know how that recontextualizes the rest of the song. I guess it doesn't really. I guess like he is both people now. So I'm falling for. Oh, no, scroll too far there. I don't want to spoil it for myself. But I don't know how much of this screen is visible. I'll go there and hope. So stick to me like caramel. We've covered this. I'm falling free of the final parallel. That has to mean dying, right? I'm falling free of the final parallel. Alliteration, of course, I love it. The sweetest dreams are bitter. Fame isn't so great. But there's no one left to tell. There's no one to trust when you're famous. That's a common problem people face, because everyone just kind of wants something out of them. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Bridge next. Let's go.
Too young to get bitter over it all. Too
a long
old to
bridge.
retaliate like before. Too blessed to be caught, ungrateful, I know. So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
Jesus. Okay, we've gone back to EP1. That guitar tone that's that's Sleep Token's first EP all over. That's like the end of Brain. Hello, you there? Fields of Elation. That kind of like guitar tone. Wow, I did not expect that. That's jarring. Right, let's read. Too young to get bitter over it all. Too old to retaliate like before. Okay. So, yeah. So he's in an in-between age where he's not an old, bitter man yet. But he also can't have a temper tantrum because he's not a child. Too blessed to be caught ungrateful. So now that they're successful and have money, it feels like he can't complain because people just say, oh, well, you made loads of money. The Premier League footballer syndrome. You can't have mental health problems, you're rich. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. Yeah, I'll pretend I'm happy when I'm not. We're back to that. This stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare. A war of attrition, I'll take what I'm given. So, interesting, like A, B, B, A rhyme scheme, like that, for one thing. It's pretty sad, though. So now that we're successful, we have to keep going. Maybe Euclid was meant to be the end, after all. Maybe Euclid was meant to be the end, but because that album blew up, then now, well, got to keep going then, I guess. Book an arena tour in the US. They did an arena tour in the UK, and I think other parts of Europe, tail end of last year. They're headlining festivals in Germany and England this summer, to a lot of pushback, certainly for Download Festival. The deepest incisions, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Hearing that, my brain pictured Bo Burnham. That's a very kind of all eyes on me kind of sentiment, if you know that song. Tell me, did I give you what you came for? That's even more Bo Burnham. Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead, aren't I? I'm skipping ahead. Fuck yeah. It's Thread the Needle, not Fields of Elation. Oh, whoa! Jesus Christ! Is that Mayhem? What the fuck? Did they... Wow. I might go back. What the fuck? I'm gonna read ahead then. I'm gonna read ahead then, because I'm not gonna come back and read this after. In these days of days, I wish it all away. I thought things had changed, but everything's the same. So that's the screamed part, and it really is fucking screamed. Pig squeal screamed. In these days of days, so the best days of my life, I wish it all away. I don't want it. I thought things had changed, but everything's the same. Don't think I've talked about pro wrestling yet on this channel, but buckle up, because my favourite moment, I don't really watch that much anymore, but there was a moment last year which just sticks out in my mind as a beautiful moment of storytelling, regardless of medium, where Hangman Adam Page had a brutal, horrible cage match with Swerve Strickland, and the story going into it was that Hangman had been depressed and angry and bitter, and saw the downturn of his career as being due to Swerve beating him twice in a row, which he did the year before, I think, or 2 years before. And so went after him and seemed to go after him thinking that, you know, it's like something that I do with my Crohn's disease. I sometimes, all the problems in my life, I just think, oh, it's all Crohn's disease fault. And he had that. And the beautiful moment story I'm talking about is that Hangman wins this match. It's a brutal, horrible match, and leaves Swerve laid out. Swerve can't get up unaided. He's unable to stand unaided. And Hangman walks up the ramp and he's looking at him, and the expression on his face is like he's waiting. Like, there are beats where I've beat him to a pulp, I've pinned him, I've defeated the enemy, and he's just staring, waiting for happiness to come. And he waits, and it doesn't. And as he realises it's not going to, he just screams in agony. And it's wonderful storytelling. And this is that. It's like, we worked so hard. Like, I felt so shit for so long, and I worked so hard thinking, you know, all of that music, all of Sleep Token's music so far is very clearly Redacted's pain written as a fantasy story. Similar to, like, the original comic book, The Crow, was just the grief of its author, whose name escapes me, being put onto a page. And that's what Sleep Token's music is so far. It's very clearly about Redacted's relationship with Redacted 2, not 2 the drummer. And I'm sure Redacted thought that, you know, if everything goes well, and if the music keeps doing well, and the band keeps growing, and if it becomes successful, that surely all the pain will then go away, and I'll feel good, and I'll be happy. And now all of that has happened, except for that last bit. Tell me, did I give you what you came for? Very Bo Burnham line from the end of the last on stage special he did. Are you happy now? I think is what he said. Terrified to answer my own front door. Yeah, me too, mate. Missing my wings in a realm of angels. Again, I think this is Arcadia is the real world then, isn't it? So I keep dancing along to the rhythm. Keep pretending. Keep masking. That's a mental health term for when you pretend to be okay when you're not. And he literally wears a mask. Oh, this is depressing me more than I thought it would. How far back do you reckon I need to go back there? A little further.
But maybe I didn't. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
Wow. I'm quite upset. A Song of Two Halves. The pretense very much fell away at the end, didn't it? It starts out a danceable rhythm. We're pretending, we're masking, but we're showing defiance, but we're clearly upset. And then, just like that, it falls off, and from my interpretations of Sleep Token, which I know a lot of you've seen because I can look at my view counts. There are quite a few songs I think that are actually from the perspective of Redacted. Bloodsport is one. I'd say When the Bow Breaks is another. Missing Limbs. But I don't know. A breakup is a breakup, innit? You know, it's shit, but life goes on. But this feels kind of existential. It feels kind of, I worked my entire life for this, hoping that this would be what could take the pain away. Oh, is that what Emergence is about too? Oh fuck! If that's what this album's about re-entering the real world and finding it less than you'd hoped for, slash, will that be an allegory for becoming famous and successful and not becoming happy? Okay. Well, now that we're all thoroughly depressed, I'll let you all carry on with your day. Fuck. Until the future, drive safe.